Celebrating entrepreneurs and creativity. Talking business, pleasure, real life get together. Join us here.
Welcome guys, we are here again for another episode for the Creative Entrepreneurs podcast, where you know what we do, we change or turn creativity into careers and passion into profit. Before we even start this episode, I just want to shout out Route 36, who are absolutely incredible. It's the show sponsors and they always go full on for the production. So thank you all for just supporting this show. And if you do have any podcasting supporting needs that you have, then please go and check out Route 36. They are offering a 36% discount on all your podcasting needs. Terms and conditions obviously apply, but go and check those guys out. And actually, I've got some really exciting news. Since last night, we have found out that we are number 9 in the Apple podcast charts. Like, seriously.
Jeez.
Like, I am just over the moon. When we first started this journey, we did not think that we would chart at all. But yes, we are. We're number 9 in the Apple Podcast Entrepreneur category. So we're sitting next to Stephen Bartlett. You know, we're sitting next to Gary Vee. You know, all of who is in the top 10. So we're in great company. So I'm really appreciative of that. And it's thanks to you guys for downloading, subscribing, reviewing, and please do continue to review and continue to rate. And speaking of ratings, actually, we had a 1-star rating. I don't know who you are, and it's okay to give me 1 star, but like, tell me why. To be honest, I just think it's a hater somewhere. But it's the wrong day to be a hater, because you want to see the company that I'm in today. Like, you want to see the gang that I've got behind me today. And that brings me to our next guest. Oh my goodness me, I'm so excited to introduce the next guest. I'm joined by 3 amazing individuals who are just the top of their game when it comes to fitness. They've developed an amazing brand, an amazing community, and in my eyes have really epitomized how you turn your passion into profit, which is what this podcast is all about. And we're going to be hearing some gems and understanding how they did it. So please welcome the amazing Swench Gang to the podcast. Troy, Theo, and Scott, welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Honestly, like, you guys are just incredible. When
that was a big intro.
It's true. And when I first started training, like, anybody who's training would obviously know who you are. And when I first started training, I was like, oh my God, Swench Gang, oh my God. I remember going to Body Blitz, actually. Like, we share a mutual friend, and I remember going to Body Blitz, and I just remember, like, just putting in the work. It was like, I think it was like 2017 or something like that, and I think you was there.
Yeah.
And I just remember putting in the work, and I actually remember being sick in the car park, because you know the ramp. Yeah. And I was saying to Ant, don't tell anybody about this day. It was just one of those. It was like one of my first or second session at the gym, and it was just a grueling session. But you push yourself when you're in that environment.
100%.
So welcome. I want to take it back. Actually, I want to understand how this whole community came together, and how kind of you guys are kind of like the pioneers of it. And how did it start? Like, take me back.
Who's going to start?
And just before you start, I know it's going to be annoying, but because there's a few of us, if you can just say your name, so you know, Troy speaking or Theo speaking or whatever it is, and then so we know.
Yeah, right. Scott speaking. So in the sense of Swench and where we all started from, we was all sort of doing our own sort of fitness. Started our own fitness journey just from training. Like, Theo and Troy had finished football and had more interest in the gym. I was competing in MMA and then started training more just in the gym standard and left that behind. And we all started our own fitness profiles just on social media, Instagram, Twitter. Mine was Team Swench with Shiro, who most people that follow us will know. And then these two were T Elite Fitness. And that was just us providing information for people and trying to build our own following. And then I think it was 2015 or 2014, I was introduced to these and their friendship group by a mutual friend. And we just sort of clicked from there, ended up training together. At this point, we were still both sort of doing our own things. And I don't think we really had any direction with where we was going with it. We was just trying to build a following. And then we started training together. We all did our first shows and started competing together. And we naturally had a bond that was sort of, I'd say sort of contagious to people. People feed off our energy and we fed off each other's energy, and we sort of realized we had something. And then, we put a name to it and things just started to go from there.
So how did that conversation happen? So obviously you was with Shira when you started Swench Gang, and then you was introduced to these guys.
Me and Troy.
You and Troy. Yeah. How did the conversation happen for you guys to kind of merge and bring it all together?
Troy speaking. I think we just kind of already knew each other from social media. You know someone on social media, and then when you meet them face to face, it's kind of putting a face to a name. So, like Scott said, we kind of all just clicked. We all had a kind of the same passion. We all enjoyed training, and it's so mad because it's just literally flowed well. And we just started training together, didn't we? I think you was working, me and Theo was still working like full time or stuff, or was at college. I think we was. And we used to just like organise training together. After the first couple of sessions, we'd kind of just organise training together on a weekly basis. And it kind of just spiraled on from there, really.
We never really had the conversation, did we? Like I said, it just naturally became a tight-knit group, and we was filming and we was doing videos and just generally on social media. And then it started, I was doing Team Swench, and we just used Swench Gang as a hashtag. And then I was doing that, these guys were doing their thing, and then I don't know whether it was just a conversation in the gym or whatever.
I remember, do you remember Theo speaking, Arcane Aesthetics?
Oh yes, yeah.
So we tried to brand it as Arcane Aesthetics, all of us. And it didn't really click. So then we ended up going out, we went to meeting people, and it ended up with people saying, there's Swench Gang, and it just clicked. And we thought, there's no reason why we should be called Arcane Aesthetics, because it didn't work. And then we clicked with Swench Gang, and that's where it's just kind of stayed
so
with us.
we did actually try and make a fitness brand, and then we tried, but we were just forcing it. We was coming up with names. We forced the logo. It just wasn't natural. And then, like Phil was saying, we would just them the Swench Lot or the Swench Boys, whatever. And then thought it makes sense, so we just used the hashtag Swench Gang, changed it to all the social media over, and then just all started pushing it together.
I love that, and that's the first lesson of the day. Listen to your audience. Like if the audience are telling you something, as in what your name should be, then you should always be driven and listen to your audience. So powerful, man, powerful. I really like that. So at what point did you guys decide, actually, like, I don't want this to no longer be a side hustle. I don't want this to just be a passion. I actually want to monetize it. At what point did you come to that stage?
I think it was all at different times for everyone. I was kind of, me and Theo were actually playing football at the time, so as we were transitioning out of that, we actually went to college and done our PT course. So we already had the vision, we wanted to get into fitness, we wanted to get into like the PT industry, and go from there. So that's how it kind of started for me.
It was we was all obviously personal training and whatnot, but in the sense of like we made Swench Gang as a fitness profile, we made it Instagram, and I think at that point we still didn't have like a target of what we was trying to do. I think it was that was a time where it was very new to be a fitness profile, and you had certain sponsored athletes that were doing videos and whatnot, and it was just a case of wanting to do that, not necessarily thinking about the money side of things. Like it's just what we wanted to do. And then we were doing YouTube videos, just building our content up. And I think the first sort of part where we monetized it was doing clothing. We just started printing t-shirts and doing stuff like that, and that led us on to doing a website. And then from there we pushed on to doing Body Power Expo. I'd say that was where we solidified ourselves as Swench Official. We changed it from Swench Gang to Swench Official, tried to make it
more neutral.
More neutral and user friendly, or whatever you want to call it. And then we did Body Power, which was like our first big expense in the sense of pushing our brand.
I suppose that's where we all tried to channel what we was all doing into one.
That was the first point
at Body Power, and that was the whole turning point in terms of business. Who wants to be involved business wise? How are we all going to push it? Are we all in this together? Are we all on the same wavelength? That was probably the first official conversation of, right, this is the direction we're going in.
Because originally there was seven of us all together, and the other lads are still very much part of it as a collective, but business-wise, like I said, we had that conversation.
Oh, the three of y'all get paid business-wise.
For the but everyone's still got the opportunity to get paid. But we were very much on the, that was the point we decided, right, we want to do something with this, and everyone had jobs, kids, or whatever it may be, so it's not possible for everyone. So just through trying things and through just having those conversations, it just naturally ended up to the point where it's us three that are business-wise really took it and started pushing it forward.
So you've kind of touched upon the fact that kind of there was a few of you first, and then some of you have, kind of departed and left you guys. And was that at the point when you was doing Body Power, or was just the three of you doing Body Power? Can you remember?
No, we all did Body Power.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because I think that was the first point where we had to invest a large amount of money together.
Wow.
So it was all like, right, we need to put money in together. Who wants to do it to push up Body Power kind of thing?
Because I know Body Power isn't cheap.
No.
So to have a stand at Body Power, you're looking to spend grand.
Yeah, well, for our stand, bear in mind it was a 6x4 stand, and then our stock of clothing and just other little bits. It cost us, I don't know, 12 to 15k.
Wow.
But bear in mind, like I said, that's just something. It wasn't a business at that point. That was just between us, just putting in what we can and seeing where it goes with it. So.
I think at that point is when we actually realised we've got something here.
Yeah.
Because we went there and we didn't really understand over the weekend, how's it going to go? We were all thinking, oh my God, we're all down, we're out of pocket.
And we didn't actually have the money.
Yeah,
we actually
really?
borrowed it off someone who we knew, close friends to Nigel. Big shout out to Nigel.
Shout out to Nigel.
He lent it us, and we didn't even know if we was going to get that money back.
No.
But he kind of believed in us,
Yeah.
and we made it back on the first day and gave it back on the day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was I feel that was a big moment for us as
Yeah,
well, just
100%.
because that was where it proved to us, all right, we've got a pool here, because all we'd done was made clothes.
So, sorry to cut you there. So to be practical, how did you make your money back? What was you selling? The merch, the clothes?
Yeah, just the clothing,
Wow.
Yeah. So we sold T-shirts,
hats.
and vests.
Yeah, that was
That's
literally it,
it.
wasn't it?
And you and you made that on
First day.
First day.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's incredible.
So that obviously confirmed to us that, all right, we've definitely got something here. And then, I said, just that whole process, the fact of being able to give Nigel back that money straight away. We didn't make a profit, but we made all the money back. We broke even. But for 7 lads selling clothing off the back of an Instagram page, we're happy with
Anything like exhibitions, like expos or kind of anything like that, it's not really about making money. It's about brand awareness. And a lot of the time people lose, but you buy the stand anyway because it's about that brand awareness. So for you to break even is an incredible achievement for like your first.
And bearing in
gig.
mind, we didn't have a marketing team. We didn't have anyone to organise everything. We done everything.
Wow. And this is what I'm saying about kind of knowing your customers and customers voting for you, because you know they vote with their pockets and they vote with their purses, and if you're breaking even at a huge event like that, then you know that you've got something solid.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah.
Incredible.
It was a good experience, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Especially after that first day.
And it was nice from, I think, like I said, we knew we had something. We didn't know how far it could go, but it was nice for Nigel to have that faith in us. And even to this day, it's also like he had that faith in us. So I think that, I haven't really thought about it, but knowing hindsight
Crazy.
now.
I literally till now.
The fact that he done that is crazy.
But anything we do, we don't really take it in.
Yeah.
We kind of it just keeps it moving. It's just part of our process. That's where we got an end goal. That's where we want to get. And then everything in between, we don't really think about it. Like we could do something amazing, and we'll probably go on to it later on and some of the stuff. But
I think we're better at it now. We have conversations. The good thing is we talk about everything, and we have conversations, especially recently, about just sometimes taking a step back and appreciating certain things, and just giving ourselves a pat on the back sometimes for stuff that's happened.
Honestly, and that's the second lesson of the day. Count your wins. Like, there's so many times that I tell people to count your wins. It's so important.
Yeah.
Like, because we suffer from, we suffer from kind of like the syndrome that we often have, and we think, oh, we're not good enough. We think that we're not good enough to compete, or we're not good enough to win, or we're not good enough to do these amazing things. But when we take a step back and we take stock and we think, oh, like, we did that, we did that. It just gives you that confidence.
Yeah,
so always, no matter how big or how small, count your wins. It's just hugely important.
Definitely. You know, it's something that we say to our clients all the time, but then even just you saying that now, it makes sometimes you give out advice and you know what you should be doing, but because you're so wrapped up in what we're trying to do, you forget to do yourself.
100%.
Love that. So we spoke about kind of like you guys winning. One of the things that I would say you guys have really won is just building this amazing community around fitness, and just your social media, how engaging it is. Your following, you know, I wouldn't even call them followers, I would call them fans. And it's so difficult to convert followers to fans. Like it's one of those, it's an art, and you guys have done that beautifully. I want to hear more about kind of like how you did that. Like what's your marketing behind it? Like
you know, it's funny.
It's a secret that needs to be shared.
The funny thing is there isn't. We have, you know what, from all the business we've done and how far we've come, we've never actually sat down and had a marketing plan. We've never sat down and had, you know, long-term goals, short-term goals. Everything's been so natural. But I feel like that's been our secret to our success, is the fact that we just try and keep everything as genuine as possible and organic as possible. And I think a tight-knit group of friends that are from different backgrounds, different races, even all this kind of thing, that just genuinely are having a laugh, working hard, supporting each other. There's not a person that can't resonate with that. And then, so we've just sort of documented that side of our lives and put that out there. And
But that's the strategy.
Well, yeah.
Authenticity and just being real and being raw, because it resonates.
Yeah.
Like I know that it resonates with thousands of people, and the fact that you just always have a laugh and just it's just fun. One of the videos I watched a couple of years ago, I think it was like you guys were like doing a sprint.
Everyone talks about it.
I was dead, like, because it was so funny. Like, and it was one of those like amazing moments. I was like, wow, like these guys are actually real.
That's
like,
everyone's favourite video. And I think that it's mad that probably stuff like that is what sort of let us know what our business model was, because we do videos on, you know, the bodybuilding side and what meals we're doing and training and what you should be doing and informational stuff. And obviously people want to take that in as well. But when we're just doing stuff like the 100-meter sprint or having a laugh or just taking a mick out of each other, or just vlogs of day-to-day stuff, that's what people really wanted to see. So that's what let us know, you know what, we don't actually have to try and do anything here other than be ourselves and document it. And that was it.
Personal branding, like it's so important, and you know, and just being authentic and being real and just showing. Honestly, it's incredible.
I think a lot of people like that video because you tore your hamstring.
Everyone
everyone tore their hamstring, so it was quite funny. Big guys trying to move 100 meters and tearing their hamstring. So
I mean,
it was funny.
It's just not taking ourselves too seriously.
Yeah, that's what it was.
But we was also content that we all wanted to win.
Yeah.
It was so serious, but
And
so funny.
Yeah, that's what
I
it
won,
was.
by the way, people. Scott speaking, I won.
So just slightly moving back a little bit, was Swench Gang like yours, like a first business, or did you have like businesses prior to doing Swench Gang?
Together or?
Not even together, just like...
me and Troy started one called T Elite Fitness.
No, we had a cleaning company.
Oh yeah, we started with the cleaning company. Yeah.
Oh, explain.
Yeah, we had... Me and Thea went to college together, so it was always having these ideas and stuff. We literally started a cleaning company.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Thea had a little Punto for his first car. We bought some equipment and we made some flyers and we went around advertising for like in commercial cleaning, stuff like that.
And he was doing the cleaning?
We was.
We was.
Wow.
We were hands on, not messing around. I remember we done that first job.
Yeah.
And I think we went into someone's house and she smoked in the conservatory. And oh my God. We charged about, what is it, like
120 quid.
yeah, something like that.
To clean the roof and was there for about 8 hours.
And I was thinking, nah, it's fine, it's gonna be all right. And it was all like brown. I was thinking, nah, all it is one wipe. I was up in the corners, I was rubbing, my back was killing. I was there, and I thought, nah, I'm never doing this again. That was it. That was the point where we kind of went,
wow.
I don't know about this anymore.
I think we've always had a business mindset. We even when we was like younger, we used to like buy and sell certain things, and we always wanted to make money, like even down to school, you sell cookies in the playground. I think it starts from there. You kind of got that mindset when you can make money or you can do certain things. It's embedded in you, isn't it, from the start?
I love that. Yeah. So was you always exposed to business, or was you just like born to be a hustler?
I think we were just born, weren't we? I know my dad really worked hard. I see my dad work really, really hard. 2 jobs, nights and days, look after me. Yeah. So I think I seen him work so hard. I think it naturally made me feel like that is the way to work, especially for your family and stuff like that.
My mum and dad just work 9 to 5s, but they're still hard working. Yeah. But I see so many things, and when I see possibilities, I see what's possible in the world. So it's like you can do whatever you want, really.
But then we've always had each other, haven't we? So we've always had that point where I'll throw you an idea, you'll throw one back, and then it'll kind of work.
It's a good balance as well, because I think like you're probably from the earliest have been like the most. This is Troy, sorry, by the way. Troy's probably been the most sort of what's the word? Just willing to try anything, always looking for the next thing to do, always, even at this point now. And then like Theo was saying, he's hardworking, he's on it to do whatever. And then I probably was previously, I was a bit more stuck in the sort of rat race frame. I was just working my 9 to 5, and I had the normal goals because that's just how my mind was set. And then since we started doing things and doors started opening, now I'm very much, looking for every opportunity and taking it, whether it goes right or wrong. And so I think once again, that's something that sort of naturally just sort of built up between us.
But it's you've used to it now. Before you wasn't really on that. And
but
now
it works well, because I said Troy will have any idea and want to do it tomorrow. I'll be a little bit more reserved and think, right, no, let's calm down and do this way. Theo will put his input, and then we end up with the right way to do it. So it works well.
But that's amazing, because you all have skills that complement each other. And that's crucial in business. You need balance.
Yeah,
always say you definitely need balance. So wicked. So I just want to revisit the marketing question again, because I just feel like there's so much in there. Like what would you say if, to the next generation of entrepreneurs who want to build a brand, who want to build a community, who want to build a following, like on their social media platforms? Like what would your advice be to those people? What should they be thinking about and working on?
It's so hard now, especially with what way people are getting famous right now through social media. It's crazy, some of the things that's going on. One of the things I'd probably say is keep it authentic. Just be you. That's one of the main reasons that I'd say.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's something I learned from doing the YouTube videos as well. Like, we used to vlog quite a lot, and most of the feedback we was getting, like I said, you got to listen to your audience, and most of the feedback we're getting was just, how down to earth we are and how relatable we are and so on and so forth. So I always give this advice out just on my Insta or whatever. It's just be genuine, because even if you're not, I feel like it's very easy to see if you're putting an act on, if you're not genuine, and that's going to lose your followers and lose your fans. Do you know what I mean? So you got to be just as genuine as possible. You got to provide value to your audience, and with the information you're giving out, and it doesn't necessarily need to be, on a scientific level of information, but just valuable to who you're trying to talk to. And I think that's what we've done. And I think it's a combination of just being authentic, genuinely wanting to help people, genuinely, trying and putting effort in with people, and having a certain amount of, empathy and care for our clients and stuff, and that just sort of resonates. So, I think it's being real and offering genuine help or information.
I think we've all been there, and we met someone that we followed, and we're just like, they're not the same person they are. Or they're a bit, I don't want to follow them no more. It's not the person I thought it was. And we want to be completely the opposite. Yeah. Like, the people meet us and we'll probably hug them and say hello and banter with them like they would on any other time. Like, some people used to take the mick out of my hairline. It's hilarious. I've never met these people before. So because the lads have been telling me about it and stuff like that, and they'd say it, and I was like, a bit taken back. I was like, hold on, do I get upset about this? And I was like, nah.
It's because they feel part of it.
Yeah, they feel part of it.
Even people coming to the gym, how many people come to the gym and like, I feel like I've been here already, because they've seen it on the videos, or if they see the dogs, I'm like, I can't wait to meet you.
It's true, bro.
They're part of our community just by us being, completely open with them, and genuinely helping people with our coaching and everything else.
But that's the thing, and I think one of the things that you all do really, really well is the value part. And the vlogging, and kind of like, I used to watch videos, and we're doing a shoulder workout now, and offer the value, and I think for me that's
You got to give people a reason to follow. You got to offer them something, you know, something of value, like you said, you know, something informative, something which is helpful to them on a daily basis. I think sometimes people overthink it. You know, your audience can be, you know, beginners who just want basic information of how to train. And I think that's the most important thing, just to keep it basic to start with and build from there. But once you find your audience, then you can apply to them, can't you?
And I think this is a question that most coaches kind of, I guess, struggle with from at time to time. How do you know when to give information and at what point do you stop? Because obviously you want them to become clients, but if you're giving all that information online and in your content, then you could be cheating yourself out of a client.
It's a good point.
I think you've got to, from experience now, you have until the point where you can pull back a little bit. You have to give as much information as you can, because especially with this is you're talking on the fitness coaching side of things, all the information is already out there. So it's anything that I'm saying is already out there, but it's not necessarily the information the person needs. It's the direction and being taken under your wing. So
the accountability.
So you giving that information that isn't going to take away from your business. It's just letting people know that you have that information. But there's only so much a person can do with info itself. They need then the support, and they need the encouragement, and they need that motivation from that external factor, which is you as a coach.
So it's more about the what and not the how. So you're giving out the what.
Yeah.
But then if you want the how,
Yeah, we'll
then,
show you.
Yeah. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Amazing. So you've fast forward today. There's the three of you kind of working and really kind of going at this business. But you're all entrepreneurs in your own right, because you've got other ventures. So like, I've seen When in Vegas. I know that you breed dogs. I know that you've recently, opened a cafe. I don't know how that's doing now because of COVID. But like, I know that you've got your hand in many, many pies. Why is it so important to be, I guess, to have different businesses and ventures, and can you talk to us about some of the ventures that you've got?
You're do When in Vegas.
When in Vegas was quite. I think it was just an opportunity. I just seen it when I went over there with my friend, and we had a table, and then we ended up having a table next to Kevin Hart. So we had a table next to Kevin Hart, yeah. So we ended up having a table next to Kevin Hart, and then we ended up spending a bit of money. And one of the guys who was the manager.
How much is a bit of money? Like,
about 10 between us. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was for one show, so it got a bit out of hand.
Wow.
Yeah.
Goodness.
And then
Vegas, I
know. So we ended up spending a bit of money, and this one guy who is our business partner in Vegas, called Russell. So obviously he must have thought, there's three guys, what the hell's going on here? So he come over, introduced himself, and then from there it was weird. It just clicked. It was weird. I can't really put a finger on it. But ever since then, we've literally just clicked. And then the year after, we went again. I met him again, and it was just like he was a brother. It was weird. It was completely weird. Then I went with the lads, and then they met him. And then from there, we said, we used the concierge service that was over there, and we realised that the concierge service over there was charging us each table $2,000 profit. So we were paying for the table, and they were taking $2,000 profit each table. And we had like days and days. We had a full week. 2 tables a day. And then afterwards I thought, this guy is ripping everyone off, especially when you go on the other side of the world. If you went the other side of the world, you're like, who do I speak to? Who do I trust? And we thought, we can be that person in the UK that they can trust. They can phone us, they can do anything they want, and then they can go. When we go to Vegas, we'll have Russell, our guy, he'll come and meet you, and he'll look after you, and we'll look after the whole week. So you won't have to worry. You and your friends won't have to worry. You'll be trusted. You won't worry about getting stolen or people robbing you or anything like that, because that's a horrible part of Vegas, because it's so glitz and glam. You don't know how much everything is. Someone could say gratitude is 12%, then they could say the tips 15%, and you're like, okay. Before you know it, you spend an extra $1,500, and you're like, what's that for? You have no idea. So we seen there was a market for us, and we said that we can actually provide a better service that's being provided there, and people can trust us, and we can actually make a good wage out of it. So, and then COVID hit, so then obviously everything stopped, and so now we're going back in from when everything started up again. So when we're able to fly.
Amazing.
So,
Good.
All good.
Good. Love it. Good.
Yeah.
So what about some of the other stuff that you've got going on?
So we've got Swench Kennels, which is, I'd say this is probably our first year where we're actually running like a proper kennels. I think with dogs, it takes a lot of, you have to build your foundation, build your sort of, your breeding programs and whatnot. But once again, like Fee said, it was just an opportunity. With the coaching business, obviously we got it to a point where we're earning good money off it, we're getting a good income. But we're very much, thinking about what else can we do. So let's say every challenge that we do, every 6 weeks, we make X amount, and we'll invest X amount into whatever, maybe crypto, shares, a business opportunity. And I just wanted another dog at the time. I trained someone who was a dog breeder, got on really well with him, shout out to Sean, and ended up buying Luna, bulldog off him. And me and Troy did that. And same, I went to Troy with him and said, I've got this idea, gonna have a dog anyway, might as well put this amount of money into it, we can make this if we have this amount of puppies, so on and so forth. And just like I said, we're all dog lovers anyway, so it made sense. And then we did that. We did a first litter with her, and then that was 2 years ago, and now we've got 9 dogs.
Wow.
We've got like 4 litters coming up over the next couple of months. I went into Leeds last week, Cardiff this week, like the back and forth doing breeding, so that's picked up really well. But same again, that's been built off of just being genuine. Like if you see my Insta, my dogs are like my baby. Same with Troy. And,
They all stay in his house.
Yeah. So it's even though we're once again, like Theo was saying, we're in a space in the market. There's lots of kennels, but our ethos is like high quality dogs from loving family homes. So even though it's Swench Kennels, like I said, they all live in my house. They're all literally like our babies, or they're looked after, and we produce top quality dogs as well. So. And people can follow the journeys. Like everyone knows Luna, everyone knows Banksy, everyone knows Ood. So when it comes around to them both being bred now, it's like, I want a Luna puppy, I want a Banksy puppy. So we sort of used our social media and the following to build all the other business up. Same with the calf as well. Yeah. That was an opportunity that our good friend Damo, he's got a Caribbean corner in Tamworth, which he's doing really well. Wanted to expand, so we jumped in on that. Unfortunately, after COVID, we haven't opened back up. But same again, it was an experience. It was something that we went into,
And your fans follow you.
Yeah.
And this is why it's important to convert those followers to fans. And you do that through being open and being authentic and just showcasing.
I think I said it to Wahid, who's another one of our partners at the gym. I said we can. We're in a beautiful position where, because of the work we've done and because of the following we have, we can almost do anything. And as long as the product or the service is good and at a high level, not it's going to do well, but we're going to get that initial influx of people that will support and buy and invest into it. Obviously, after that point, is how we manage the business. But so I think that, combined with the fact that we are just very goal-driven and willing to take opportunities, so it all sort of works. So that's where we've got a concierge service, kennels, coaching, like they're all random stuff, but it all works, and it's the same people that are following it.
Good. So just looking at the actual Swench Gang business and the business model. So you have various, I guess, revenue makers in that. So you got your coaching, you do your challenges, you do PTing, like what
and Swench supplements as well.
Yeah, so our supplement should be launching this week.
Wow.
That's been in the pipeline for like the last year. Obviously, because of COVID, it was difficult with like distribution and everything going on. Everything took a little bit longer than normal, but that's literally, I think it's this week, isn't it?
Yeah.
Website should be launched. All products are fully done. Artwork, marketing, and that's with like, same again, because of what we've done, people have approached us and we're utilising what we've got as a brand now to expand and keep it all in-house. You know, we as much as we always want to kind of invest in other things, I think it's very important to utilise what you've got. So what else can we do in the fitness industry until we get to the point where there's physically nothing more we can do? Clothing, supplements, coaching, PTing. You know, we're going to get to a point then when we're going to look outside again even more, but we're literally, you know, trying to do everything we can possible.
Cover all areas, don't we?
And also with a fitness kind of background, it's like you get sponsorships, you get people want to give you supplements. Why don't we do it ourselves? People want to send us clothing. Why don't we make our own? People want to send us supplements. Why don't we do our own? You know, we're putting money in other people's pockets, but we built this brand, so why don't we build it bigger?
But our quality of stuff is a lot better as well. Like we're actually like I think it's a sleep aid that's been vetted for 2 years, so it's been tested and it's not no rubbish products. Everything we've got is top notch. So we've gone up towards the top end of the market straight away, and obviously when it comes out and people try it, they'll understand. But at this moment in time, we've started really well. Like you can, whichever way you look at it, we could have done the brand and just thrown out anything and just we could have rushed it, but we took time. We made sure that we got the right people in with us, and then now we're ready to really, really rock and roll. Yeah,
amazing. Big entrepreneurs, man. I love it. Absolutely love it. So, just looking at the actual model, what do you make from? I'm not asking for numbers. Just kind of like a percentage. So, is it more? Kind of like more online coaching, or that gives you the most? Is it more the PT, and is it more the product?
I always say, when I got to PT stage, I was maxing out 60, 70 sessions a week, like that 60, 70 hours.
Yeah.
There's only 24 hours in a day. Online, obviously we cap it at a certain amount, but we can do a lot more online because the time's a lot easier, whereas there's only 24 hours in a day, so I could only do 24 sessions if I wanted to.
Yeah, that's why we've slowly moved away, not away from PTing, but focus. So the main income is the online coaching, and exactly for that reason, because we've got no constraints. You know, all we need is our laptop. We have a certain amount of clients we can see because obviously we've got to manage our time and make sure we don't have a dip in quality. But we've gone from, I said, maybe seeing 30 clients a week to between us having, 300 to 400 clients over a 6-week period.
Wow.
And so with the transformation challenges, between the 6-week challenge and the lean in 60 days, we've probably averaging 300 to 400 clients on a challenge, and that's like every 6 weeks or every 60 days. So that's like the main sort of thing, but that's just the challenges. So we'll have like monthly clients that have one-to-one coaching, competitive clients ready for shows. So that's the coaching side of things, and then obviously the supplements, and then we still all PT a little bit here and there, but more to work around our day than anything.
You have to keep some routine and structure.
So how do you I think the challenges are genius, by the way. Like it's just a genius model. But how do you manage like the admin around the challenges? So like the emails, the keeping up with everybody, the understanding where everybody is, and that just seems
we've had to treat the coaching as our full time now, because that's what it is. Before it was our part time.
Yeah.
So now it's a case of emails are this time to this time.
Right.
Or Fridays is our full check-in day. We spend from 6 in the morning till 10 at night on check-ins.
And that's all three of us.
Yeah.
And one of the best ways we were managing it, because before, as I was saying to Scott, I used to type into all these hundreds of people was an absolute nightmare. So now we voice note, so it's more personal now.
Yeah.
And now we're able to make more detail in everything we say and make it understand a little bit more.
And that built the brand massive, because I think me and Scott were doing emails once, and I was typing out and he'd done a voice note. I was like, "You think that's a bit long?" He's like, "Nah, bro, it's quicker." And I was like, "All right, okay, cool." So we started voice noting, and then we started getting these responses. The one-to-one approach, people like hearing our voice. People like just talking to us, and that built even more. And then maybe one or two I wouldn't do a voice note, and they'd be like, how come I didn't get a voice note this week? And then it built from there. So every client now is a voice note. It's personal. It's between us. They get to speak to us individually. They get their own kind of personal touch on it. We get to understand them as an individual, and that's just blew up even more.
Wow.
And that's just something that we've learned from doing the challenge. It was yesterday I posted that, didn't I, about our first challenge, and there was like 28 people on there. And from that point, we was just doing emails, and that was 2017. So since then, we progressed to just trying to level up the challenge as much as possible, and then a new check-in system on the website, then the voice notes and stuff like that. But once again, it's just it all goes back to the same business model of just being us and being genuine and being relatable. So with our clients, in terms of the coaching, obviously, on what we're actually doing, we know our stuff and we get results. But a lot of the time, it's just having that conversation and being a support for the client, and the voice notes, like that's one of the main things that has really just took off. And like I said, we speak to all our clients individually. It takes up most of our time, but the results we get and the feedback we get back is worth it. Like we're changing lives, and we get that told to us, like, when someone's telling you, "You've changed my life in this 6-week period," or we've got clients that have done a couple challenges over a year. Like our client Faye, who's competing on Saturday, she's been with us 3 years, and it's life-changing stuff. So
it's crazy.
that motivates us in itself, isn't it?
So rewarding. Like, it must be just really rewarding to see the input that you're having and the influence that you're having on
massively.
people's lives.
It's overwhelming sometimes. We forget, because it is our business, and we've got check-in day today. We make sure we get back to these emails, but then same again. We make sure we just take a step back and look. And if I get a good some positive feedback, I'll show Troy and just appreciate it. It's very rewarding.
And that's the thing. Like, and there was a couple of things that you said in that really resonated with me. So the first thing was all about, and I think you said it, Troy, like kind of like time blocking and you having set days for certain activities, which is a great way to kind of manage your workload effectively.
We say to all our clients, it comes down to your routine and structure. That's what helps you get progress. And I think we all have to keep a good routine because we've gone from working a routine 9 to 5 or whatever, now PTing at a set time. If we just sacked all that off and done emails, I could get up whatever time I wanted. Would workload be effective at that point? So I think we have some form of routine and structure to keep that level of progress and routine there. I think it's important.
Yeah.
So that's something that's progressed as we've done it, though. We haven't always been like that.
No.
It's something that we've learned. There's been periods where we haven't been as efficient, and we've had to sort of figure out, all right, what's going on here, and even to the point of working too much sometimes. So now, like on our check-in day, we'll make sure, right, we're going to have 10 till 11 break, go for a walk, do whatever we need to do, come back, we work this time to this time, and then so on and so forth, because it can go the opposite way. We ended up doing too much. We used to do check-ins till like 2, 3 in the morning, but then the quality dips. But it's just recognising that and then putting a system in place.
You see, and this is the kind of juice that I love. Like, it's so important for self-reflection, and it's so important to work out how effective are you in your current roles, and can you be more effective. And you're only going to get that if you self-reflect. I think it's amazing. I think there's just so many gems, even just down to the fact of being personable and sending voice notes. For me, for you guys, that is an extension of your brand. That is kind of who you are. That is the personable, the tangible, the connecting. Like,
you gotta be relatable with each individual. I think it's so important and that's what we all have. We've all had experiences which can be relatable to an individual now. Our client base is young, old, big, small. Every type of client we deal with now, and I think that's what makes us so good at what we do, because we can relate to so many different people.
So you're doing loads, like you're absolutely doing loads. How do you fit your time into? How do you fit your sessions in, and how do you fit like your?
Scott's decided now that Sundays is a complete day off.
Okay.
So he says, nah, no work. We have to have this family, friends, relationships, whatever it is. That is Sunday. So probably we do a couple of little check-ins or something. But putting that time aside just to sometimes do nothing, chill out, spend some time with the family or whatever, I think that's the important time as well.
Yeah, we have to, especially now. Like, obviously, these two are starting families. Well,
congratulations, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Like, honestly, it's incredible. You joined the club.
Yeah, we're all at that point where we're in long-term relationships. We're building families. We're buying homes. All this kind of stuff. So, and it's something I've learned as well, just from my past, that if you neglect time for those things, when really they're the things that matter the most, it's going to have an effect on it. So, we make sure that we have that time now. And like you said, just making sure that all our other time is as organised as possible. Because like I said, we have got so much going on that our days are all over the place. And I was talking to my fiancée the other day, and I was like, I feel like I'm non-stop. I feel like I'm not, because I'm not going to work and sitting down and I'm working X amount of hours. I feel like I'm not doing much, but I'm actually not stopping. I'm out from 6 in the morning till 10 at night, and then I'm back out again in the morning. But we might be doing the dogs, might be doing the supplements, we might be training clients here and there. So it takes its toll. So I think managing and organising your time when you are working and when you're not is very important.
And I think having supportive partners as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And like Scott said, you've got to make sure your place at home is well. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what keeps you motivated, and that's what my partner literally is amazing. So it's like, without that, I think it would be a lot harder. And I think it's important to invest your time into that as well, to make sure that's all A-okay.
Yeah. And I think that's what people always think, or that's the first thing to be neglected, is your stability, and it's your home, and it's your partner. And actually, you need to invest in it. You need to find time for it, and you know, we all fall victim of it, like from time to time. But we have to maintain the fact that actually these people were here before the business,
100%,
and they'll be here after the business.
Yeah, I agree.
And they, in some ways, you know, they're the people that keep the business going, because they're listening to you day in, day out, complain about your clients.
But the thing is, with us, ours are
colleagues.
like they're just as much as part of it. All our partners have been there through. They're not actually just supporting us. They are and have been involved and been a part of it. All of us, whether that's just supporting us as men at work as our partners, or just generally actually part of the business, helping with certain things, whatever it may be, they're just as much a part of it. So that's one thing we try and do. We try and involve, and our friends, even the lads that aren't involved 100%, we still have that sort of family, community support, and everyone's involved to a certain extent, or if they're not involved, they're supporting like they are involved. You know what I mean? So it's something we make a lot of time for.
Love it. So so one of the things that I've noticed and following your journey is that you do a lot of networking, I think, and in-person networking. So you make it a point to visit different cities, go to different gyms, like network with different people. Like, how is that important in terms of like building your brand?
I think it's important because you see people on social media, but face-to-face is a totally different approach. You know, you get to see someone in the flesh, you get to actually talk to them, see how genuine they are. And it always helps with business, you know, networking as well with social media. I think it's very important. You might meet one or two people who you haven't seen before. You can build your brand. You know, there's so much you can do through networking. I think it's a massive part of business and life in general.
Defo. And did you guys think we want this part of our strategy, or was it just a more of a let's go and visit this gym today? And
that was that. If anything, that's probably one of the things we did play. We haven't done as much now because of COVID, but we from the YouTube videos we used to do squad Saturdays, and that was where obviously the lads that were working, everyone was off work, so every Saturday we'd get our camera guy, we'd take our own camera, and we'd go to another gym. We'd go to a food place in a different city and do, you know, food challenge videos and make sure, or we'd go and train with someone and do a collab. So that day was specifically to travel and link up with someone and do that. So that was part of, we was doing that for a solid year probably, weren't we?
Okay. And just in aside of everything that you do, you also obviously make time for yourselves, and you also compete. And I know that you was competing, Troy, the other day. And how important is competing when you're in this industry, or is it important?
For me, I don't think it's massively important. Like Scott always says, whether you win or lose, our followers don't care. Like, it doesn't mean anything to them. But for me, it's more about the challenge that I set. I think competing and bodybuilding itself is probably one of the hardest things mentally and physically to do. And I think in order to succeed, I think you've got to have some form of challenge. Again, when you compete, when you prep, it comes down to routine and structure, and that's a really important thing. And I love the routine and structure of dieting and getting in your routine for your food, your training. And yeah, I just think that's the biggest thing for me. It's more about the structure of everything.
It's not being honest, it's not really important in the sense of our businesses. It doesn't really matter. Obviously, we all compete because we love to compete, and like I said, we love to challenge ourselves, and we bodybuild, so that's what we do. But in the sense of business, maybe initially because it helps build a profile, so we're very aware that when we're prepping for a show and we're having this build up to the show and we're doing, you know, our build up videos and whatnot, that definitely does bring more traffic through to our pages, and that obviously builds everything else. So we're aware of that on a business side of things, but whatever shows we do, however well we do in the shows, if we win, lose, whatever, it doesn't really mean anything. We don't win anything from it. It's more content for us than anything. It's more for that. So that's probably the content side of our business is sorted, and our own personal challenge, you know, and our own goals there. But but the competing directly doesn't do it. It's more just for us, isn't it?
Wow. Because I would have thought that competing would be that thing where, you know, it builds your profile. You know, if you've won a competition, that means effectively you're the best.
But maybe the one thing that we take away from ourselves, we're in good shape. And one thing, we are in good shape compared to a lot of people. So I think that's one of the things, because we're the way we are, we take that away from ourselves. I think we naturally do it and say, it doesn't really matter. But people look up to Scott and Troy and go, look how good they look. And that's one of the things that attracts them to them.
Well, this is the thing, because I'm not going to go to a PT and say, if who's out of shape, and be like, will you PT me because you're out of shape?
Yeah.
Not to say that they're unhealthy or anything, but I much prefer, if there was a choice, I much prefer to go to the person who's in shape and the person who's won the awards. You know what I mean?
No, I totally understand.
And I think as well, for us as coaches, if we want to be the best, we've got to be able to go through everything and have experienced it and done it first. I can't tell you to do this if I haven't done it myself and have an understanding of it, of what I've had to go through mentally, physically. So we've been at the highest level and done it to the most extreme.
Wow.
So
I think
what feedback you're giving me that you can't do this because it's raining outside or because of this, I'm telling you, you can.
That's the powerful part of it. That is the powerful part, particularly with being a coach and having the ability to say, I've been there, I've done it, I've wore the T-shirt, like.
And then from that, we can build an understanding, because then I understand you as a person and how to approach you. Because I'm not just going to do that to an older person and you know how I speak to them. I'll adapt that then. So as long as I have the understanding of what needs to be done, then I can approach that person, that individual, and learn how to motivate them and get them to get to their end goal.
I think that the good point is that competing, like I said, it takes us to such an extreme because of most of our clients, we have competitive clients, but most of our clients are lifestyle clients. The extreme that we've been to in the sense of fitness, in the sense of dieting, there's, compared to a lifestyle client, I don't want to say someone hasn't worked as hard or anything like that, 'cause that's not the case, but it's just nowhere near that level of extreme. So like Troy said, if the normal issues that a lifestyle client is struggling with or is finding hard, we've done that times 10, so it makes it very easy for us to be able to break that situation down to them and coach them through the process and give them the confidence to let them know they can do this, or if they can't, all right, we're going to take this approach and so on. So we've, like I said, been there, done that. Do you know what I mean?
It's that social proof, isn't it? It's that, like, knowing that we've done it, we've been through the process, we've wore the T-shirt, and now we can advise you because this is our social proof.
And it gives our clients, I find a lot of our clients that don't care about bodybuilding whatsoever, it gives them something to root for us. I've noticed from your prep, like a lot of normal clients, like, so we've got a lot of older clients and whatnot that, like, they're really rooting for Troy to do well.
It's amazing.
And, so it gives them something to forget about the coaching side of things. They can just support us for as well, which I think helps the relationship.
And you got 4 cakes. How many cakes do you get made here?
4.
Hobnob cakes.
Wow.
But same again, that social media, just by on his stories talking
People
about
I've never met and stuff.
making cakes.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Wow. Always goes back to that, turning those followers into fans and allowing them to be a part of your journey and bringing them in. Because, it's serving dividends. I love it. I absolutely love it.
That's what it is, isn't it? They've been through everything with us. Like, Troy's been through surgeries this year. Do you know what I mean? Even down to things like Theo going to get his hair done, or me getting my teeth done, or me going through a breakup, or us quitting our jobs. Like, we're very open about everything to a certain extent. Like Troy having a baby and going through prep while his missus is pregnant, and same with Theo. All these things we share as much as we can. And
so how do you know, the $1 million question, how do you know what not to share? Like, at what point are you like, nah, this is too much, like, I can't share this? Or
I think we've got better. Before I think we used to just share everything and anything. And I don't think
I don't know, man. There's not really anything.
No, there's nothing that we should hide.
Other than like proper, like personal things.
Yeah, proper, yeah.
You know what though? I think now that you've had your kid and now that your kid's on the way, I think there's going to be some things where you're going to be like, I'm not sharing this.
I've already done it already. There's photos. And got some amazing.
To be fair, you're probably the most reserved.
Yeah.
Not reserved, but just out of everyone in the sense of what you put out there.
Yeah.
But that makes sense. Yeah.
So I kind of hold back quite a bit.
Wow.
Just because because people are weird these days. Isn't it?
That one star person, the hater.
That's what I mean. It's crazy.
Just waiting.
And the amount of people that have watching my stories are like ZVGH1. And I've got so many of them, and I'm thinking,
bots.
Yeah, how many people?
Yeah, because it's if people say anything bad about me, I'm cool, like whatever. But when it's directed to your family and stuff, you're like,
It's a bit more,
where are you? Like,
that is true.
Like,
it's true, very true.
But yeah, cool. So I just want to really, because I know we've been speaking about kind of like bodybuilding and aesthetically looking pleasing. Do you think that being so heavily involved in fitness, like kind of, do you think that you can fall into this kind of body dysmorphia kind of thing, like thinking, oh, I look terrible, and actually you look flipping amazing, like?
Yeah, 100%. I think we've all had that.
Yeah, really.
Still probably right now. Yeah.
I had a conversation with my client yesterday, and she was like, she looks really good, but because of what she's exposed to on social media, she thinks she has to look like this.
Wow.
When I'm saying, take a step back, look at where you were, look at where you are, and you've got to get content with and happy with how you're looking now. And it takes time because, you know, like I said, what you see on social media isn't always real, and what's portrayed as what you have to look like isn't what you're meant to look like at all for guys and girls. So it's I think it takes a lot to get that understanding about yourself.
Social media could be a blessing, but it also could be a flipping curse.
It's both, isn't it? Because even down to our clients, we have clients that are doing really well, but they'll see, and bear in mind, I say the 6-week challenge, for example, we'll have a client that's done 4 weeks, has smashed it every week, lost a load of weight, 2-3 pounds a week, but then they see someone that's lost 4 pounds, and obviously because we post everyone's stuff, and then they'll be like, oh, I haven't done that well this week, and I've seen someone else, this and that, and like I said, we have to, just that side of social media as well, you could be doing well yourself, but because you're comparing to someone else, you sort of, you know, invalidate your own progress. So, but that's something that we work with our clients quite a lot with, and sort of just explain that, you know, you've got to use anything on social media, use it for inspiration, use it for motivation, but never to devalue what you're, you know, how well you've done, or to make you feel a certain way about it. But the dysmorphia thing, I mean, that comes with bodybuilding. I think
it does.
Obviously we're strong enough minded to be aware of it, but I'm like that now. Like at this point, I'm coming off an off season, so I've just started dieting, getting ready for a show. But even things like now, like I won't train in a vest or take my top off or anything like that.
All.
But
Really?
Because I'll just. But I used to be fat, so I've come from being fat, so I've still got certain tendencies that I'll have now, even though I know I'm in shape compared to like your average person. But until I'm what I deem acceptable, I'm not comfortable with my top off or wearing a vest or certain things like that. So, but I'm very aware of it. So even though I'm aware of it to the point where it's not an issue.
It's not an issue. I think we've all been there, haven't we? Especially after the show.
It's because we've been to the extremes. When you've been 4% body fat shredded out your mind. Anything less than that is fat. You feel like it's fat. So for a holiday now, I want to be bodybuilding show ready for a holiday, which just makes no sense. But that's what it does to you.
So when you're doing your shows, are you kind of, when you're backstage, are you looking at other people thinking, oh, that person might have it, that person might win it, that person, or are you just confident in your ability?
I think it comes with experience. The first time show, that's what you're going to be thinking. I've been backstage and I thought, nah, I'm not doing this. I've done 20 weeks and I'm going home, not doing it. But you talk yourself out of it, and then I think as long as you've done everything possible, you should be confident with what you're doing on that day. You know, you've left no stone unturned. You've done everything within your power. You know, you step on stage and enjoy it.
I mean, it takes a couple shows for that to happen.
I think I've just only, I still do it now.
But I think that's the beauty of it as well, because of how bodybuilding is. It's a subjective sport, and it's not like a team game where if you score X amount of goals, you're going to win. It's down to the judges. So it's like the beauty part is the prep and actually doing all the work. So then on show day, if you don't get the result you want, you might be annoyed for that instance. But when you reflect after and think, you know what, I did absolutely everything, looked the best I've ever looked, like you're content with that, you know, from there. But we wasn't. The one time I specifically did it was the heavyweights, the British UKBFF, and that was the first time backstage, and everyone was there. I didn't take my top off, I was pumping up, and then I think they were looking at me like, oh, I'm going to be something special, but I'm thinking, I don't think I got this. So anyway, I've got out and ended up winning the British.
Wow. But I remember that conversation. I think it was you came back. Was it you? Yeah. And he came back and he was saying he's having a bit of a wobble back there. And then when he went on stage, it was like, he was in the centre of the stage, and it was just...
Wow. That's incredible, and I think it's all about kind of understanding and knowing your ability, and also actually knowing when to kind of pull back, because obviously looking at just being an athlete and looking at all the stuff that's happening with Naomi Osaka because of the French Open and how she pulled out because of her mental health. Like I think as athletes you have to be, you have to know when, I guess enough is enough, and if something's playing on your mind, or if something you can't do something because of whatever issues, and you have to have that ability to pull back.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, definitely. I think, to be fair, this is the same again. It's our group and support network that helps us through that side of things. Like Troy's prep is just now is probably the hardest prep any of us done. It's in the sense of how far he's had to push himself.
Wow.
Coming off the back of surgeries and whatnot. And there's been plenty of times where your head's not been there at all.
Wow.
But because we know like I said, because we know what it feels like, we've been there.
So what do you mean, like are you kind of ratty, or are you just in quiet?
Like now, because I've got food in me.
Yeah.
The world's different.
If you would have seen him, it's a good thing we didn't do the podcast the first time, because he'd be in the corner.
When you're in that moment and when your body's that depleted of glycogen, obviously you need a certain level of food for your brain to function. And I'm in that realm where everything is 10 times worse. You overthink everything, but it makes you mentally stronger. When I can get through that, I know I've been through it all. It's like, right, I've achieved something now. But I think we're human at the end of the day. You're going to experience these things, aren't you? I think anyone who does go through a whole prep and doesn't have a single bit of doubt, I don't think that's possible.
I think the one thing we do, we talk. That's one of the most important things. When we have issues, we talk. We might have a bit of banter and it might fly out the window, but we do talk.
Because I was going to say, like, is there a serious part to your friendship? Because a lot of the time we see the banter, but is there a serious kind of...
I think there's nothing we can't talk about together.
Wow.
Like, probably 2-3 days before the show, I remember sitting in bed and I had like this mad anxiety attack, and I don't really suffer with anything like that. And I was sitting there and I was thinking about the maddest things I've never thought of in my life. And I kind of had to sit there and just, I don't know how it passed, but I thought I was having like an attack. And I went to the gym in the morning and I said, Scott, bro, I think like I had an anxiety attack. I was thinking about the maddest things. He was like, yeah, you probably did, bro. But, you know, Scott's quite good at like talking to you, and all my support network I don't think I'd be able to do it without them. We talk sense, and obviously everyone's relatable, and we'll tell someone when they're doing wrong and doing right, and we keep it real with each other as well. So I think that's what keeps you going. But that was probably the first experience I've ever had, and it was mad.
I think that's with all of us as well. There's there's probably about 7-8 of us, and like I said, although most of the time we're joking around and taking the mick out of each other and having a laugh, like we speak about everything, whether that be like even like political thing that we literally speak about everything, and down to how we feel, down to there's no element of like male bravado where we don't tell how we're feeling. Like I've cried in front of the lads, and like I said, we speak about stuff. So when it comes to us having hard times and like it's
like
not an issue, because we've got that support from everyone.
If something's going wrong, kind of just everyone's.
And we also know it. We wouldn't. I wouldn't have to say something for you, man, to know something wrong with it, and vice versa.
That's incredible. Like I absolutely love that, because we should all feel it's okay to speak to somebody. And you would look at you guys and you would think, you know, the massive, like the macho, and you would assume that, you know, you keep everything, you know, inside and you don't talk. So the fact that you're saying that you talk to one another and you help and support one another, I think is incredible.
Wow. That's just come through age as well, and just through growing up and just experiencing certain things and having to probably show and say something to then sort of understand, you know, we need to be able to check ourselves and then explain that to someone else and talk about feelings, and it will help us grow, even down to business. If you're growing as an individual, that's going to help your business. If you know, it's going to help you on every level. So we're very aware of everything and try to really, you know, put energy into that.
Amazing. Look, guys, we can sit here all day and talk, and I'm just really, really pleased that the gems that you guys have dropped today has been amazing. We spoke loads about counting your wins, and spoke loads about building relationships and time blocking, and just having social proof, and ending on kind of like being able to speak about your feelings and mental health. And I think that's incredible. So I want to thank you guys for coming onto the podcast. It's been truly amazing just to take a deep dive into how you guys work and how you've built this incredible beast of a brand that so many people connect with. And listeners, if you are out there thinking, go and follow Swench Gang Official, do you want to just give your socials?
Yeah, so it's our main ones are Swench Official and Swench_supplements on Instagram, and then my personal one's Scott_Swench.
Mine's Theo Robinson 25.
Mine's Troy.Hemus, and we've got Swench_online_coaching as well for our business coaching page.
Love it.
Just search Swench and
We're over
pop
there.
Love it. Honestly, you guys are absolutely incredible, and what you're doing in the industry is just amazing. So continue to do what you're doing, and thanks for coming on.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for having
Appreciate
us.
it for having us.
Thank you.
Talking business, pleasure, real life get together. Join us here.